today we're talking about those plants that always make us feel like great plant parents. The ones that are always working on a new leaf, maybe some blooms, and somehow forgive us when life gets busy. Over the years, I've collected a few that have been so incredibly rewarding to grow. So in today's video, we're talking about 8 plants that brought me the most joy, the most growth, and honestly, the least stress. Hi plant lovers, welcome back to my green leafy space. My name is Alina. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me today. So in the last 2 weeks, I kind of have been taking things slow and just kind of trying to enjoy the simple things in the everyday life. So while slowing down, I had this thought about growing plants in general and how some plants are, at least to me, are much more rewarding to grow than others. And I think those are the ones that I enjoy the most, that are kind of just I don't know, they're give this independent vibe, don't worry about me, I'm just fine, I'm still gonna enjoy life, I'm still gonna grow, I'm still gonna bloom, and come visit me once in a while with your watering can and I'll be just fine. And I really enjoyed that vibe, especially in the last 2 weeks. I have been feeling not my best and kind of realized that I might have too many plants at this point. Not that I love all my plants, but I much more enjoy the ones that I don't really have to worry about. I just know that if I'm not gonna water them today or tomorrow or in the next week, they're gonna be just fine. So let's just get into the list of 8 plants that I have been enjoying the most in my jungle. Okay guys, so I think we're gonna start from this big beauty that I have been enjoying for quite a lot of years. I think I've had it for at least 4 years, and let me just put it here. This is a Aglaonema. I have a few varieties of this magical plant. So what I really love about this one, especially this variety, which I'm not sure what the name is, I'm gonna hopefully find the name and write it down, hopefully. So what I love about this specific plant is that it's growing constantly. There wasn't any time when it stopped growing. So it used to be much bigger plant. Is I hopefully you can see that there's a broken stem here. So I decided to repot it. It had another full plant, and I unfortunately broke the stem, but at that time it has already grown 2 of these plants that were small and cute, and has grown so much since. So as you can see, there are always some new beautiful leaves coming. I love that those leaves are kind of big and lush. So I feel Aglaonemas are totally one of the easiest plants to grow. There are so many gorgeous, beautiful varieties. You just can't go wrong with whatever you pick. This is a plant that will always be forgiving if you don't water it on time. I kind of just water it when the soil is totally dry. I do water it really thoroughly. I usually watering it in the shower and showering the leaves. If you want your jungle to be stress-free, I feel it's definitely the perfect plant for you. So easy, so beautiful, always working on a new leaf, And to me, that's just amazing. I have a few more varieties of Aglaonemas. Not all of them are a really fast growers. I have the first diamond, which is kind of slow and I feel like needs much more light than all the other Aglaonemas I have. But I also have this one, the white stem, that I have been enjoying so much, that has been growing over here in kind of, it gets really bright in direct light in the morning, but throughout the day it's kind of medium light, and it has been so happy. It has been pushing new small baby plants as well, and just like, isn't it like the most gorgeous plant? So with Aglaonemas, I believe it just kind of, you can't lose. They are always happy plants. They always are pushing new leaves. Sometimes even blooms. In this case, it did bloom a few times for me this summer. So if you don't have a Aglaonema, you definitely need to get one. I kind of wish I had more Aglaonemas. It's funny I'm saying that, because I did just say that I feel overwhelmed by my jungle, but I don't know. These Aglaonemas will definitely have your jungle stress-free. So definitely let me know if you have been growing any good varieties, Aglaonema varieties as well. Okay guys, moving on to another plant that is totally like, you know, whatever vibe. I don't really mind, like grow me wherever, water me whenever you want. So this is a smaller plant. I think it's a cutting I have taken from a different plant, I'm not sure, but just look at how cute it is. It had like, I think 2 leaves, and it grew more leaves in like no time. I have also this variety. This is a strawberry milkshake, I think, and my favorite Syngonium is the one that is here behind me. This is a Syngonium albo that has been growing like crazy, especially since I've added the trellis. It has been so happy, and I don't know, with that, the Syngonium albo, it did lose a little bit of the variegation, but I really don't mind it just growing so beautifully. Like, it has grown a new leaf like every 2 weeks. So it's really rewarding seeing a plant in your care that is like so happy and always growing and enjoying life. So I think with the pinkish variegation, it kind of needs a brighter spot. It is growing in my son's room next to a window, but this one also has been growing pretty great. This one is not the fastest grower. I don't know why. Maybe I just don't water it on time, but this one with the green leaves and the albo are such a fast growers. So this is a plant that I also feel like can be perfect for new plant parents, or for, you know, plant parents that kind of just, you know, want their jungle stress-free. I could not add a Pothos to this list. I feel like Pothos is definitely the most rewarding plant you can ever grow. So it's so easy. It's such a fast grower. It's not like too picky with the light conditions, as long as you do give it a medium to bright indirect light. So what I really love about Pothos is that you can propagate it so easily. You can just take a cutting, put it in water, or in this case, I decided to try and grow it in leca, which I really love the look. And it will push out new roots in no time. So I think this plant is like the most amazing with trailing down a shelfie or climbing a wall like I have here behind me, and I have another one in the living room green wall. So for this video I have counted how many Pothos plants I have, and I think it was 10, but I think after counting it, I found a few more since I have pothos in pretty much every room, and I have so many pothos cuttings like everywhere. So I have, I think, 3 varieties. I have the golden pothos, I have the enjoy, and I have the marble queen. And I kind of wish there were more pothos varieties that are, you know, like this simple one, that they are not pricey like at all and kind of fast growers. The enjoy is a slower grower for me. I mostly have the golden pothos, and I think it's a must for any jungle and any room and any pretty much shelfie. I think if you don't have a pothos, you just need to get one, and you're gonna agree with me that it's definitely one of the most rewarding plants to grow. I usually try to water the ones in soil when the soil is almost dry, but I usually don't really get to them on time. So I water them when the soil is totally dry, but I do water them really, really thoroughly. To the next plant on my list, this is a begonia double dot, and I don't know, there is something so special about this plant. It's not the fastest grower, but it does pushes beautiful new leaves once in a while. And I don't know, there is just something so magical about those polka dot leaves. I think this one is such a rewarding plant to me because I don't know, we kind of connected, and I have killed a Begonia maculata. I had 2 plants that are not alive anymore, and I feel like this one is kind of just fine no matter what. I do give it bright indirect light. It gets like the brighter spot in the morning, and then it's kind of like bright to medium light conditions here. I don't really have a schedule for it for watering. I just water it when I realize that the soil is totally dry. As you can see, it also is growing in a terracotta, so it does dry out between waterings, and I don't know, it just has been so happy, which makes me so happy. So as I said, it's not the fastest grower, but when it does grow those cute little leaves that have kind of, when they're really young, they have this like pinkish color, and it's so beautiful to me. I also have the Begonia maculata. I think it is a maculata. It doesn't look like the maculata I had before, the one that I killed. But I think with begonias, the most important thing is to give them a right amount of light. I think the Begonia maculata I had before, it was really kind of not enjoying that I didn't have a watering schedule. But this one that is always, I believe, a maculata, let me know if you have this one and you know what kind of variety it is. I have taken a few cuttings from it. I have one over here that looks so cute, has grown some new leaves. So some new roots, I meant. So with this one, it's growing over here next to an east-facing window. I think at this time of the year it doesn't get any direct sunlight, but it does in the spring and summer. I hope you can see those cute little new leaves coming. So I don't know, it's just, these two are so rewarding to me, but not because they are fast growers, but just every new leaf is kind of a win for me. Since I just started with begonias like less than a year ago, I have, as I said, killed 2, and these 2 are pretty nice success. The double dot has really surprised me since it's like such a beautiful plant, and it's not that finicky at all. I kind of have this like idea of okay, come on, of like beautiful plants being like finicky, but this one is just perfect. I think as long as you give it a bright spot and water it when the soil is dry, it's gonna be just fine and it's gonna be happy. It even bloomed for me a few times in the summer and it was so beautiful and so magical. I'm so excited about the list today. I'm so happy to talk about it. Like every plant I bring here, it's like, oh my god, I love it. I love this plant so much. So this is a Dieffenbachia. I got it, I think, 4 years ago as a cutting in water. I moved it to soil, I think, pretty much immediately when it had, I don't know, a few inches of roots. So as you can probably see, this is a plant that I have taken a cutting from. So it had this like really long stem and with time it lost the lower leaves. So I decided to take a cutting and keep the lower part as well. As you can see, it has grown so many beautiful leaves. So this is how much it has grown. It was like a stem without any leaves on it, so it pushed out two of these beautiful new growth points, and the upper part, the cutting itself, is really happy growing on the balcony, has also pushed so many new leaves. It has lost a few lower leaves, but it still is so happy. And Dieffenbachia, it's such an amazing plant. I water it, I swear, like whenever I remember to water it, I do when the soil is totally dry. But I do always water it thoroughly. I think most of the time in the shower, because I do want the soil to be saturated with, after it has been dry for a while. The second cutting is growing on the balcony, so it is getting a really bright light for the whole day. And this one is growing in bright indirect light. It's less light than the balcony, but still. And it has been so happy. I do add a few hours of grow light in that area, so it is getting some extra love. But in general, I think this is a plant that can also grow in medium light conditions and it's still gonna be so happy. So my relative, the one that gave me this cutting, has a huge Dieffenbachia, such a beautiful big plant. She has taken so many cuttings from it. One thing that you should know if you have furry family members that love messing with your plants, or if you have kids that love messing with your plants, this is a toxic plant. So if you in one of those two situations I just mentioned, then I wouldn't get this plant. I do understand that it's quite toxic to humans and animals. Okay guys, moving on to the next plant. This is a Hoya Crimson Queen and I got it not long ago, but I'm gonna talk about Hoyas in general. I think Hoyas are such an amazing plants to grow. I think the most important thing about growing Hoyas is giving them the right amount of light. So this one, when I got it, I kind of read about it online, and it said that it's a pretty slow grower. So I did had it in my living room hanging next to an east-facing window, and it didn't grow a lot, but then at some point I decided I want to give it just a little bit more light for the whole day. So I moved it to the balcony and it has grown so much since. It has so many new leaves, new beautiful vines. I watered this beauty when the soil is totally dry. Yesterday it was kind of a funny situation. It was so windy on the balcony and it's growing on kind of a high shelfie on the balcony, and it was so dry that it kind of just flew off the shelf, but it has zero damage, so I'm really happy about it, and I'm really happy that it's growing in a plastic pot and not a terracotta. It could be really messy. Except from this one, I have this beauty over here. Let me show you. that I'm really proud about. So this is a Hoya carrii. This is a smaller plant that needs a shower. This is a cutting I have taken from my big Hoya carrii on the balcony. It is such an amazing plant, has grown so much. I think I got the mother plant this size maybe like 5-6 years ago, and it has been blooming. Like the cutting hasn't bloomed yet, but the mother plant has bloomed so many times. It has bloomed through the whole summer, and her blooms are such a mess, but still I love them so much. They're so sticky and they fall like on the floor and on the wooden furniture on the balcony, but I love it so much and I'm so proud of this cutting. I think it had like three leaves when I have taken the cutting. I decided to add the moss pole because I thought it would look beautiful, and I really think it is. So as I said, for Hoyas the most important thing is light. Just give them, if you have a like spot where you have some morning sunlight, like a gentle sunlight or evening sunlight, that would be amazing. But if not, just give it the brightest spot in your home, the closest to the window or to grow light. Okay guys, moving on to a plant that I also feel like this is one of the most rewarding plants to grow, the most stress-free plants to grow, and they're so easygoing. Like no matter what light conditions you choose for them, they're just gonna be fine. Okay, just a second. This has been bothering me for a while. I wanted to do this for such a long time. My boys always break the stems of this plant. Okay, let's move on. So ZZ is definitely the most amazing plant, especially if you don't have a lot of bright light in your home, or you have a few spots in your home that don't have the best light conditions, but you still want to grow plants there. ZZ is the perfect one. Although ZZ plants are not the fastest growers, that they don't really have blooms. I don't know, my plants never, my ZZ plants never bloomed for me, but it's so rewarding since they are, first of all, so beautiful to me. And when they do grow, I just love how the new growth looks. I just love that it kind of unravels with time. It doesn't push like the whole stem. And you know, it's such a kind of independent plant. It's not really, it's definitely going to be understanding when, I don't know, life gets busy, you don't really have some time to care for it or give it some love. But if you do give it a bright spot, it's gonna grow pretty fast. I think this plant has grown this stem, this one, as you can see, they're kind of more greenish, like a brighter green, and there's another one coming. It's a plant that always makes me so happy, since it's always so happy and I don't have to do a lot to make it happy, if that makes sense. So that's what's so rewarding to me about this plant, that it's just kind of like no stress zone. I just walk by it and I'm so happy about it. Okay guys, this is another plant that I had to add to this list, since Monsteras are so adapting, so forgiving, and like every leaf, to me, every new leaf is like an event. Like it's so fun. I'm obsessed with new Monstera leaves. If you have a big, healthy, growing Monstera, I'm pretty sure your camera roll is full of photos of new leaves, because every leaf just makes me so happy, especially the ones with the iconic fenestrations. Those are just heaven to me. So why this plant is so rewarding to me? Because if you're gonna give it the right light conditions, it's just gonna thrive. It's gonna push out new leaves constantly. It's gonna get big and beautiful. With the waterings, I also water it only when the soil is totally dry. I'm not always on time. I sometimes do get the soil to dry out too much, but as I already said, when that happens, I always water thoroughly. So I have currently 1, 2, 3, 4 monsteras. So this one over here has been growing in water for more than a year. I have just recently moved it to soil. I have one beautiful monstera cutting on the balcony that is growing there right now, and I have the big monstera in the bed, in the living room. And you know, I feel like it's not a real jungle if you don't have a monstera. Like, is there a more beautiful statement plant that you can get for your jungle, for your home? I think if you wanna have a monstera that is stress-free, rewarding, always growing new leaves, definitely get the deliciosa. I feel like you're gonna enjoy it so much. Okay guys, I think this is pretty much it for the list today. I'm so happy to share this list with you. I think if you're looking for easy and rewarding plants to grow, I think every plant on this list will be amazing for you. I'm really excited to know what plants have you been enjoying and the most, which plants have been most rewarding to you. If you're into daily plant inspiration, follow me on my Instagram. I'll leave the link in the description of this video. If you like this video, please subscribe not to miss more videos like this. And as always, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I really hope to see you in my next one.